Hello. Namaste. It's Rene. Welcome to the mat. Online yoga videos for your use at home. I am currently videoing at our lovely Plano location. So please just start seated comfortable in the center of your mat with your legs crossed, one ankle in front of the other. Keep your props nearby as you may need them throughout this practice today. And thank you so much for joining me to spend time on your mat today. It's very important that we take care of our health, our minds, and our bodies during the times that are ahead. Place your hands on your knees, close your eyes, and start to connect with your breathing, your breath. Inhaling through the nose, and exhaling through your lips in a slight sigh, helping you release any heaviness or negative energy. Inhales bring in positivity, light, space. And exhales are brooms that sweep away the heaviness, the negativity, the stress. Following with your mind's eye, watching your breath as it enters the body through the nose, and exhaling as it exhales through the mouth. Breathing like this, connecting with your breath, helps us to bring ourselves into the present moment and out of stress and anxiety and triggers that may happen in everyday life. Bring your chin in towards your chest in this seated pose, with your shoulders relaxed and your back straight, and take a few breaths into the back of your neck. Jaw is relaxed, eyes are closed, feeling the tailbone into the earth so you feel grounded. Inhale your arms overhead, interlace the fingers on the back of the head, and relax the elbows in towards the temples. Shoulders might want to lift here, but relax them down the spine. Gentle pressure as you relax and stretch your neck. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Release your hands to your lap, turning your left ear to your left shoulder. Relax your shoulders down and breathe into the side of the neck that you feel the stretch in, your right side. We'll bring the left hand on top of the head and place that there, relaxing the shoulders so we can stretch now the right side of your neck. Breathe in, breathe out. And release your hand onto your lap and turn your head to the other side. Right ear to right shoulder, relax the shoulders down, spine is straight, tailbone is rooted, stretching the left side of your neck now. Place the right hand on top of that head and breathe in and out. Breathe in, breathe out. Place the hands back on the lap and start a few half circles to loosen the neck. Breathing and rotating the head side to side. And if your neck feels okay, take a full circle around in one direction, and then a slow full circle around in the other direction, only if the neck will let you allow you to rotate around. Otherwise, a half circle is good. Back into neutral gaze. And then I'll take you onto your hands and knees. On your mat, facing forward, place your wrists under your shoulders and your knees under your hips for a cat-cow. Gazing neutral between the hands, breathe in, breathe out, tuck your chin and head down. Tip your your hips forward. Inhale, bring your chin up and your tailbone up and look up. Coordinating your breath now, exhaling when you tuck down, inhaling when you look up. Bring your tailbone up too. Exhaling down for the cat, inhaling up for the cow. Feel free to move in and out of this pose a few times at your own pace to stretch your own body. Being mindful of your inhales and exhales, and mindful of any tension that may be building in your jaw or your shoulders or your back. Back into the neutral box shape and back onto the heels for child's pose with bent knees, forehead down to the mat. If the deep knee bend is difficult for you today, come forward a little so you stack the hips over the knees, walk your arms out and place your head down in a happy puppy stretch. It's a great modification if you're having some arthritis or knee issues. Take a few breaths in and out. And know that this is a resting place for you. Take an inhale back onto your hands and knees, box shape. Turn your toes under and tilt your tail up for downward dog. Breathe in and out as you walk the dog, pressing the heels one at a time towards the mat. If you were to look left and right while you're doing this, you're able to look under your arms and not over the shoulders. If you're looking over the shoulders, we'll need to push further back into the hands so we can take that weight further back towards the legs in the back. Inhaling forward into plank pose, which is a high push-up pose. Right away, you'll know if this pose is not a happy pose for you. You might need the bent knee modification for a safe spine. Gazing between the hands, keeping the neck neutral is very good for your back as well. If you're in the plank pose with the legs straight, you want your bottom to be at an angle from your shoulders between the hips, knees, and ankles. Otherwise, you're kind of in the half downward dog, half plank. So one way to modify that is bent knees. If it's too difficult to keep that shape with your knees straight. Push back into your downward dog, and then bend the knees and walk forward to the front of your mat, hanging forward in a fold with soft knee bend. Grab your elbows with your hands and hang here. Try to let the weight of your torso increase your stretch. Maybe moving the body around helps. Maybe wiggling your toes or shifting in your body weight helps loosen your back. Release in a half lift, lengthening, press into your thighs so you feel the crown moving forward and the tailbone moving back. Exhale, forward fold with soft knees. Inhale, rounding up, standing, mountain pose. Hands overhead. Exhale, hands to prayer, heart center, pausing there. Press your thumbs into your heart and feel your own heartbeat. And know that this place is a safe space. This mat is where you go to work through the worries and the stress. This is your happy place. Take a few breaths, feeling grounded and centered in mountain pose. All of the fingers and the thumbs, the heels of the hands are touching as you hold in prayer. Inhale, arms overhead in a sweeping motion with a little back bend. Exhale, forward fold, swan dive, touching the toes if you can. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, hands on the mat, bend the knees and place the right leg back. Front knee is bent. Lift lift the torso on an inhale for warrior one. Being aware of joint alignment in this pose, knee over ankle on the front leg. The back right hip is opening at its own will. Shoulders are relaxed. Gaze is up between the hands. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. On your next inhale, reach a little higher, and then exhale, reach back between your hands back to your lower back. Gather the fingers. Inhale, open the chest and look up. Exhale, forward and look down. Hold upward while tucking your chin, stretching your shoulders down. Take another breath in, and then exhale forward further if you'd like to take the fold in humble bow. And arms can lift to the ceiling if your shoulders like that type of stretch. Otherwise, elbows are bent and your hands relax on your low back. Squeeze your inner thighs together here to maintain balance and stability. Release your hands towards the mat to touch the floor. Inhale, rise back up to warrior one. Hold. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale and exhale, transitioning to warrior two. I like to straighten my front leg and then bend it again so that I can open my back leg so that this back hip feels good. My palms are going to turn up so that my shoulder blades will relax down the spine. Look over your front hand. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, offset your torso forward, lengthening. Exhale, reverse warrior, lean back. Staying in the same leg lunge, the left arm is now reaching up, the right arm is resting back on the back leg. Gaze points can be upward towards the sky, towards me on the video, or down towards the foot behind you. All of these are good gaze points. Inhale, warrior two. Gaze over your front hand, turn your palms back up again. Straighten your front knee for triangle pose. Take an inhale, bring your fingertips to touch your shoulders. On your exhale, lean forward in triangle, if you can, keeping the arms in this shape. Hold in the lean, pressure into both feet, and then release. Your left hand to rest on your front leg, right arm to reach high. Take another breath in and out before you start to work your way down in your triangle stretch. The trick here is to keep the side open of the arm that's in the air. And that might mean that you keep the hand that's below you higher, so we're not collapsing in the side to open. Gaze points can be up in the air, towards the video, or down to the ground. All of them are good. Bend the knee in front so it's easier to rise back up on an inhale to your warrior two. Palms are up, look over your front hand. Take a breath in and out. Transition, warrior one. Both arms move forward and up. I've got to reset the back leg, so this hip is in a good shape. Front knee still bent in the lunge. Breathe in, breathe out. Exhale, bring your hands downward towards the front of the mat, either side of your front foot, and come into a runner's lunge pose. Press into your hands and breathe, stretching in a runner's stretch. The front foot comes back on an inhale to plank. So we did this one before. Remember, you can have the legs bent if you need to for this next part. Chaturanga and sequence flow vinyasa. Bend the knees, bend the elbows, or straight legs, bend the elbows. Exhale. Inhale for cobra. Big or little for your spine. Shoulders are back and down, elbows are bent. Exhale, lower cobra. Inhale, hands and knees. And then the child's pose or the happy puppy version I showed you earlier. And you'll begin to learn your own specific favorite modifications. Take a breath here in your resting point. Inhale back onto hands and knees. Exhale to downward dog. Walk your feet forward and walk your hands back so you're halfway on the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, press into your thighs. Exhale, forward fold and hold, bending the knees and hugging. The tailbone lifts up, the head drops down. Movement in the toes and the torso feels good. Take a few breaths here. Release. Round yourself all the way up, or bottom back, chest open if your back prefers. Inhale the arms all the way up. Turn around to the center of your mat facing the video, hands into prayer, heart center. Take just a moment here to reestablish the contact between your heart and your thumbs, the fingertips, heels of the hands, roots of your feet into the ground, and crown reaching above. The spine is lengthening in the middle. Turn towards the other side of your mat, facing front in mountain pose. Inhale the arms overhead for a back bend, slight back bend as you look up. Exhale, forward fold, swan dive. Touch your toes. Inhale, half length. Touch your knees, thighs, shins. Make a flat spine. Exhale, hands on the mat, bending the knees. We'll place this left foot now into the back with the front knee bent and rise up, inhaling for warrior one. So we're getting the other side now. Shoulders are relaxed. Checking the alignment here in the knee in front. Make sure it's not inside or outside, too far back or too far forward. Gaze up between your hands, relax your shoulders and take a breath in and out. On your next inhale, reach a little higher, and then exhale, reach to your low back. Gather the fingers, interlaced, and open your chest on an inhale, look up. On an exhale, tuck your chin and hold in this half fold, lengthen the back of the neck. This might be a good stopping point for your fold. Or maybe you'll take another breath and you'll continue to forward fold over in the humble bow, bringing your belly to your thigh, your chest to your knee, your head down and your arms up or elbows bent with your hands on your back. Squeezing your inner thighs here for stability. Breathe in, breathe out. Release your hands down to the floor to support and then lift back up. Warrior one with the knee bent in front. Breathe in, breathe out. On an inhale, moving into that warrior two. And like I mentioned before, I'll straighten my knee, I'll adjust my back foot, and then I'll bend my knee in front, and then I'll turn my palms up and look forward. Take a breath in and out. So the warrior two is centered in the feet. We're not too far forward or too far back in the torso. We're right in the center. But when we're ready to offset, we'll inhale forward torso and exhale reverse torso for reverse warrior. The knee in front still bent, the arm is resting in the back. And the right arm is up. Gaze points are up towards the video or down. All of them good choices. Inhale back into your warrior two. Turn the palms up. Look forward over your front hand. Breathe in and out. Inhale, straighten your front knee. Triangle pose. The abdominals are locked here. Feet are firm. Slide the left hip backwards. Reach the right arm forward. Offset the torso. Right hand moves down to the leg. Left arm moves up. Start upward and then work your way down, trying to keep the openness in this left side. If it starts to collapse as you move the hand down, bring your hand up below you so you can keep open above. Gaze points are up towards the video or down to the floor. Breathe in and out. Bending the knee in front is easy for rise up to warrior two. Take a breath. Transition from warrior two back to warrior one. Resetting the foot in the back so that that back hip feels good. Take a breath in and out. Exhale, bring the hands all the way down. Turn the back heel into a runner's lunge. Front foot comes back and we're in that plank pose. Plank pose, remember, bent knees for those backs. Gaze stays between the hands. Breathe in and out. For your chaturanga, exhale when you lower, elbows to the ribs. Inhale for cobra, big or little for your spine. And then exhale back for child's pose or happy puppy in your resting pose that feels good for you. Take a few breaths there. Allow yourself to rest in between the sequencing. Swallow, close your eyes while you're in that pose. And then come back to your hands and knees. Go back into your downward facing dog. Step your feet forward a little bit. Step your hands back a little bit so you're halfway on your mat. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold and hold, hug the knees. Soften the back, soften the neck. Take a deep breath in your low back stretch. Release the arms down. Slowly round up or bottom back, chest open. Inhale, lift high. Bring your hands into heart center, turning into the center, facing forward, hands prayer. Take a moment here, mountain pose. Stabilize, breathe. Step the feet wide for wide leg stretch. From the center of the mat with the feet to the sides, inhale the arms out wide. Take another breath in, and then exhale, soften the knees and start to reach forward fold. Maybe you've got a block nearby. You can put your hands on your block, or you can put your hands on your mat. Try to keep going further down into that deep stretch. Maybe taking your hands through your legs and using your palms to pull the torso down. Same thing in those forward folds. Head is down, tailbone is up. Shift into the weight. Move your body. Breathe deeply in and out while you're hanging down, wide leg, forward fold. Maybe grab your hands to your elbows too. Maybe a ragdoll feels good. Release, lengthen the torso forward. The left hand's going to be on a block of the floor. Inhale, the right arm opens for windmill stretch. Gaze points here can be up to the hand in the air, towards the side of the room, or down towards your hand on the floor. Take an inhale in the twist. Exhale, release your right hand down towards the floor, the block. Inhale, the right arm open, twist and look up to the side or down. Just trying to establish a line between the wrists and the shoulders. Take a breath in the twist and bring that left hand down. Turn the heels in and the toes out. Bend the knees in a wide leg squat we call goddess. Bring your shoulders over your hips so your back is straight. Inhale your arms overhead. Exhale, bring your hands into prayer. We're going to hold the goddess and try a few sunshine breaths. Let's bring in the sun, ladies and gentlemen. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, bring your hands into prayer. You can always straighten the legs at any time it becomes too difficult. Inhale the arms up. Exhale the hands in prayer. Let's do one more round of breathing. Inhale the arms up. Exhale in prayer. Hold in goddess. Breathe in and out. Press your hands. Activate the upper part of your body. Release your straight legs, turning the toes forward. Inhale the arms overhead for wide leg side stretch. Lengthen through your right wrist. Pull. Lean to your left side. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, center. Realigning the spine. Switch the wrists. Pull on the left arm. Inhale. Exhale, lean to your right. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, bring hands to prayer center. And step the feet back together, mountain pose, center of the mat. Now here I like to do a little balancing sequence in between. So I'll rock to the toes and rock to the heels. Rocking back and forth for me Helps to loosen the ankles and the toes, as well as establishing a center of balance between the front and the back and the left and the right. So you will root into your left foot. I will act as your mirror. Bend your right knee and turn it outward for tree. Your right heel comes to rest on the ankle, so you can keep the toe down if you need to. Or you'll rest the foot on the calf. Or you'll take it to the knee with a gentle pressure. Or if it needs help, certainly help it to the inner thigh. The heel is up and toe is down of that leg that you're standing on, that you've got bent. The heel of the hands and the fingertips are all pressed together there so that you establish the upper body balance. The gaze is forward, the drishti is soft. The knee you're standing on needs to be a little bent just in case you feel wiggling in your body. Maybe try growing branches over your head. Establishing those roots as you reach through the crown. Feel the spine stretch in the center. And then exhale, take your time as you move back through prayer hands, back to standing mountain. Release and lower. Shake the leg that you were standing on. And we'll try that on the other side. Prayer hands to begin, mountain pose in the center of the mat, and maybe a little heel-toe movement to establish your center of balance, your gravity, rooting into now your right leg. I am your mirror. Bend your left knee and turn it outward. So you can place the left heel on the ankle, the calf, inner knee with slight pressure. Easy does it on that knee joint, or help it to the inner thigh, or some other version that you may currently be practicing in tree. And for me, the key is the hands and the upper body firm, the knee soft below me, and the gaze steady before me. And there's an invisible line of energy that runs through the crown, down the spine, down my standing leg. There is a calmness that happens in this pose that is not often achieved with other poses, so I really like to add this pose into my personal practice. It brings me peace. Maybe try growing your branches as well. So you feel like you're opening your arms upward towards the heavens for the universe, giving you answers, guidance, things that you might be questioning right now, but feeling rooted into your own self. There is length in the spine. You'll bring your hands back into prayer and slowly make your way out of that balance. And shake that leg you've been standing on. Very, very nice. Step your feet wide. Inhale your arms to the sides. Turn your right toe towards the front of that mat. Bend the knee and it'll make a warrior two. Turn the palms up and look over your front hand. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. Settle into that warrior two. Notice the torso is still centered in the warrior two. Offset forward on an inhale. Extended the angle forward. Maybe elbow goes on the knee. Maybe it touches your block or down the inside of that leg. And your left arm is reaching high. So we're trying to achieve the wrist, shoulder, wrist alignment on the side. If you're a binder, you might rotate from your shoulder, elbow to wrist of the upper arm behind your back to further open the shoulder. You may lace that right arm underneath, or you may be using a strap to thread under there, or maybe you're just doing the half bind, or your arm is still reaching high. Breathe in and out. Release if you bound. Inhale back up to warrior two. Look over the front palm with the knee bent in front. Release your front leg. Straighten the knee. Turn the toes forward. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale the hands into prayer, heart center with wide legs. Inhale, open your arms to the sides. Turn your left toe now towards that side, bending the knee. Warrior two, palms up. Gaze forward, but shoulders and hips are centered in the middle. Inhale, breath offsets forward. Exhale for extended angle. The left arm moves down, inside of the leg, certainly able to rest the elbow there if you need to. Maybe the block or the fingertips touch the floor. Trying to make the nice straight line from wrist to shoulder to wrist. Maybe rotating the arm in the air if you're doing the half bind version, going behind the back. Using a strap if you have one handy. Breathe in. Breathe out. Release if you did the half bind. Extended angle reach. Inhale back up to your warrior two. Look forward over your palms. Breathe in and out. Straighten your front knee. Turn those toes back towards the video. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale the hands down and behind your lower back to touch the fingers. Look down. Inhale up and down, sunshine breath, wide leg. Gather it up, let it out. One more time each way. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale the arms out to the sides. Turn the right toe towards the right side of the room. Bend the knee. Look forward for warrior two. Transition into warrior one. So you're going to reset the back hip so that the toes are at an angle in the back leg. Front knee's bent, toes forward on that leg. Exhale, bring your hands down on the inside of the front leg and come down to your back knee. Offset this front foot to the left and move into that stretch. So we call this one in our class dragon or lizard pose. If you're feeling really tight, you stay on the hands today. And maybe back out of the hip every now and then. So we're not completely giving into that stretch. There is an option to go to a block or an elbow if you want a little lower stretch. There is an option to go with the straight leg here as well. If the forearms don't want to go all the way down, you can have the block under the forearm on the inside or wrap that forearm around that ankle that you have handy. So this is a good deep stretch to add in towards the lighter part of your class. Once you feel warmed up and you feel like your breath has opened up some of these tight spaces. Take a few breaths in your stretch. And then release. Shifting that foot now at an angle, bending the knee so you can go into our pigeon pose, which is our pose of the month. Straight leg in the back, bent knee in the front. Now, if you know that this is not a good option for your knees, your back, or hips, you would go onto your bottom, onto your back, and cross that left leg over so you get that stretch in your hip on your back. Otherwise, you've stayed here to take your breath in, to lengthen the torso, over on an exhale. So you line your spine up and then lower your head down. Take a few deep breaths here in this stretch. This is a stretch of surrender. It's a great stretch for letting go. And especially with all the tensions we've got going on right now, we need all of the extra letting go that we can do. So muster it up, breathe in through the nose, and your exhales, make them audible. A sigh, a release, like a pressure valve. Inhaling through the nose, out through your mouth. Try that about 3 times. In through the nose, out through your mouth. And then when you're done, you'll release. If you're on your back, you're going to come to seated. If you're forward, you're going to use your hands under the shoulders and lift on a breath in. And we're all going to come to the kneeling hands and knees and move your hips around a little bit. You'll notice there's a little bit of difference in the sides. I'm just moving the synovial fluid, the joint fluid that moves in our bodies, that moves in our joints, our hips, our elbows and shoulders and knees and ankles, all those places, just kind of making things smooth again. And then we'll go into a downward facing dog. Turn your toes under, push your heels back and down. And as you're walking your dog, if you were to look left and right, you would be looking under your shoulders here, not over the shoulders. Maybe that would be too far forward in the hands, so push back so you're further back in the heels. Of course, that might mean your heels don't touch, but that is okay. We know that every day is different in these bodies, and some days they're more flexible than others. Step your feet forward halfway, step your hands back halfway to a forward fold in the center of your mat. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, soften to release. You can go rounding back up or bottom back, chest open. Inhale, overhead. Bring your hands into prayer and heart center mountain pose. Turning back to center, forward face, hold, breathe in mountain. Just pausing to reflect how you feel in your body and how you feel in your mind at this point in your practice. Starting to feel a little bit better, feeling a little more even, feeling whole. And then we're going to turn and face the other side. Step the feet wide. Turn your left toe now towards that side of your mat and bend the knee to warrior two. Look over your front hands. Warrior two, the back hand swings forward to make warrior one. And as you do that, reset that back hip so that you make sure that that leg feels good in the back. Take an inhale. Exhale, we're going to bring the hands down to the inside of the front foot. Come to your back knee. So now we can achieve this dragon or lizard on this side. The other leg is in front, so your different hip is getting a stretch. You might stay upward in dragon, or you might lower to the elbow to lizard. If the other elbow hovers on the inside, try wrapping it around that ankle to see if it has something to, hold on to. Back knee can be down, or the knee can be tucked, toe tucked, knee lifted. Usually when I'm teaching the class, I'll recommend that you do the same thing that you did on the other side. So if you're modifying on one side for an injury, you should probably modify on the other side so that you're equalizing the body and not continuing to imbalance the body by favoring one or the other side. So just kind of keep that in mind as you're practicing on your own. Breathe in and out in this lizard stretch, and then you're going to release and lift your torso up on an inhale, back onto your hands, and you're going to bring your front foot at an angle onto the shin and move your back leg straight. The knee is down, toe is down on the back leg. You'll know right away if this is not good for you. You'll move onto your back and cross that ankle over and try that stretch on your back. Otherwise, you're facing forward, lifting up, breathing in, lengthening that spine on an inhale before you exhale forward over into that pigeon, resting it down. A lot of times in this pose, you'll hold your breath, or you might clench, or your mind start drifting off in some negative thought pattern. So bring it back to inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, maybe audible exhales. So you feel like you're releasing, you're letting go, you're letting that pressure valve just a little bit open so we can relieve the pressure that we're holding in, mentally, physically. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Do this several times while you're holding the pigeon stretch. which is our pose of the month here at the mat. Many variations for this pose as well. Palms under the shoulders after your breathing is done. Inhaling to lift the torso. Bring it back to both double knees, double hands, box shape, and move your hips around side to side. Just to move the joint fluid, the synovial fluid around, making those hips feel soft and movable and pliable again. And then just join me in seated center of the mat for the butterfly pose with the soles of the feet together, also known as cobbler's pose. Hands are on the ankles to begin, so we can do a few cat-cows to straighten the spine. So when you're exhaling, you're going to round back on your tailbone and look towards your belly. And when you're inhaling, you'll lift your spine and look up and pull those shoulders down. Same thing you did in the kneeling. Exhaling on the rounding back, tailbone, chin tucked. Inhale forward onto your bottom, look up, lean into it. Exhale on the back. Inhale on the forward, open. Do one more in each way. And then inhale, hold the open one with the chest is back straight, chest open, and lean into it. It might just be a chin tuck stretch, or maybe a full forward fold down into the butterfly, Baddha Konasana butterfly pose. Cobbler's pose. Grab the toes, grab the ankles. Elbows can be inward with shoulders down or outward pressing the knees, but just remember to keep those shoulders down. Sometimes they'll lift if we're using them out on the knees. Take a few breaths here to try to get the inner thighs, the groins, the bottom, the low back to relax and release in a stretch. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. And then release, lifting back upright. Draw your knees back into center. And move your hands back on your mat, feet off to the sides, turn sideways. So you can just windshield wiper the knees side to side. And then come into a crisscross seated pose. Place your hands on your laps. Close your eyes. Take a few breaths and see how you feel now. After a little mindful movement, some breathing, some stretching, notice how you do feel more grounded. You do feel more connected. You do feel more relaxed. Sit here for a moment with me and let's just breathe. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Remembering that this space within you, this calm space, underneath all the craziness, is always there for you, waiting for you. You just have to kind of dig beneath the stress level sometimes, dig beneath the tension, the negativity, whatever it is that's bothering you, that's holding you down. Your breath will take you to those quiet places within you. They're always there. And as I leave you, I want to leave you with a thought. You are a resilient spirit. Those people that are resilient have things in common. Resourceful and good problem-solving skills. More likely to seek help when needed. They hold a belief that they can do something that will help them manage and cope through times of stress in crisis. They have a social support system, and they are connected with others, such as family, friends, or a yoga community like us here at the mat. So know that we are all together, we are all connected. We are all feeling the same feelings. So let's come together and let's breathe as one. Inhaling the good and exhaling the other. Whatever it is, this too shall pass. Inhale the arms overhead to gather all of the good energy that we created together today. And bring your hands into prayer and store that energy in your heart center until I get the chance to see you again. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you from us here at the mat. Please tune in again to YouTube for more videos. Goodbye.